man. You know, we talked about that before. That mind's man, it's powerful.
It's powerful, yeah.
It's powerful, brother.
And I tell people all the time, man, like, when Kobe Bryant, you know, people like, well, he modeled his game after Mike, he imitated Mike. I said, everybody tried to imitate Mike.
Everybody can do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It didn't work for everybody.
In the whole commercial.
It worked for him.
He like Mike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It
That was
worked.
the whole campaign. But it was his mindset
Mm-hmm.
that allowed him to achieve this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He
And
didn't
so-
put no limits on himself.
Exactly. He didn't put his limits on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he worked at work ethic.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, y'all was talking about that. You can see it anywhere.
Yeah.
Kobe outworked everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've listened to several documentaries, read. You know, I got his book.
Yeah.
And I've read it, like I said, I've heard something, you know, there's so much about how, you know, his work ethic, man. You know, everybody, you know, they going into a new city. Everybody, you know, you're in a new city, you're traveling, you know, you're going to go have some fun. Kobe was going to the gym.
Yeah.
So while he having fun, he putting up shots, getting ready for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, everybody ain't willing to do that, man.
Discipline.
Nah, man,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
discipline, man. You got to be disciplined, but because what he wanted,
That's true.
he sacrificed.
He did.
He sacrificed
did.
for what he
Sacrificed
wanted.
for it,
We got to sacrifice for what we want,
Right.
man. You know, that word discipline, it means so much.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to remember, man. I actually use that word like with I use a word of the day with the kids with the basketball team.
Okay.
Every week I have word of the day, and this one was actually 1 hour words. I'm trying to remember, man. I can't even think of it right now. Wow, I can't think of what we had for discipline. Because our first word was achieve, and then discipline was the second word.
Okay. I know we talked about the other day, Tanya and I, we were talking about discipline. She was asking me, well, she was like, what's really a disciple?
Yeah.
And I said, well, the root word is discipline. I said, well, if you break down the Greek word, it means to beat somebody back into place. In other words, to have somebody to be in a position to be like Mr. Miyagi and Danielson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's discipline.
Yeah.
You know, versus Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so remember Danielson, if you the Karate Kid, he was like, well, when we gonna do karate? When we gonna do, you know, he always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
You know, but Missy Miyagi said, no, you got first out, you gotta get your mind right.
Yeah.
And you gotta have discipline.
Yeah. He was learning the sport of karate.
Right.
And didn't even know it.
He didn't even know it, did he?
He was being disciplined,
Right.
but he learned it in the process.
Right.
That's my whole goal with the lab, man.
Right.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't even know. You're gonna be a better young man when you get through.
You don't even know.
You don't even know. You think you learning basketball when you really learn it.
Learn life.
You learning life, man.
Yeah.
You learning life. You learning how to live life.
Yeah.
You know, because life go on outside of basketball.
Yeah, you never know.
You know, yeah, so many, you know, we have guys here locally in the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
You know, they were top guys, McDonald's Americans, and some of those guys feel like that. I know that they feel like without basketball,
Yeah.
you know, they don't have any other purpose.
Yeah.
But if someone was instilling in them, teaching them how to be a great man and young man,
Yeah.
they realize they more than just a basketball player.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
and that's one reason why I kind of stepped back from coaching when my daughter played.
Okay.
I didn't want her to just be considered a basketball player.
Right.
I wanted to understand, you know, I taught her about the life around basketball.
Yeah.
We had those conversations,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
she did me with, you always can take something and relate it to basketball. I said, because it helps you understand it better.
Yeah.
You know, how some people's mind work.
Yeah, that's true.
But she was like, it helped me understand, you know,
Wow.
just simple stuff in life. And,
Yeah.
and a lot of them didn't get that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so if you take basketball away, they still can live a disciplined life.
Right.
You know, they're not going to end up on the news. Unless it go back to the choice.
Right.
Unless they choose to do something.
Right.
But they was taught
Right.
to have that discipline. And, you know, and one, I think, thing about discipline is we need to learn is that discipline don't necessarily mean somebody getting on you or something.
Right.
We,
Right.
you know, it tend to have that type of thing that discipline means, and somebody fussing at you and at your head, telling you to do this and do that. That's not what discipline means.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was breaking all that down for the boys, man. Just trying to get them to see stuff in a different light and understanding it. It's more to it.
Yeah.
There's more to it, man.
Yeah.
I told them when the very first time I met the group, I said, this is what I told them. I said, I'm not in the business of making basketball players.
Yeah.
I'm in the business of helping y'all be better young men.
Yeah.
That's what I'm in.
Right.
But you're gonna become a better basketball player
Mm-hmm.
and a better young man all at the same time. So if I'm teaching you to become a better young man, the basketball ball gonna be easy.
To take care of itself.
Yeah, it's gonna take care of itself.
Yeah.
You know, but my thing is to teach you how to be a better young man.
Right.
You know, because everybody who play sports have an expiration date when it comes to their sport.
Yeah.
Some sooner than others.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Yeah.
Each level. Everybody don't make it to each level.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Every level. High school, middle school, college.
Yeah.
You know,
First
some
year,
get to pro.
Yeah.
You know, but they might not have as much success as the others in pro. You know, and I was there 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, but you know, I think that still go back to discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that would determine how long your success will be in that line of sport.
Right.
Yeah.
The more disciplined you are, the longer you can live your dream out, I guess. So how long? So LeBron James. So we know he's a controversial player. A lot of people may or may not respect him, but one thing they always say: numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie, man.
Yeah. Everybody, especially in the day, sport world today. I don't care who your favorite player.
Yeah.
I don't care who your favorite team. I don't care what your favorite sport is.
Yeah.
Everybody look at numbers.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody look at numbers.
Yeah, everything is numbers, man.
It's all about numbers.
Yeah. So how long he been in there? 18?
And play 18 seasons.
18 years. That's crazy.
18 seasons.
At a high level.
Without going to college. So, how disciplined you think a guy like that has to be to come in to that kind of money at the age of 18?
Right.
That type of stardom, that type of everybody looking at you.
What was that, 100 million, is that Nike?
Yeah, Nike gave him like 90 million before he even played the game.
Right.
You know, he got a $90 million deal before even playing the game.
Right.
You know,
so hold on, let's take a pause right quick. 90 million, hold on, 90 million, right?
Yep.
From the hood, in the city.
In the city.
Single mom.
Single mom, struggling single mom.
Yeah, battling in and out with drugs.
Yeah, just different stuff he had going on.
Stuff. No dad.
No dad, no insight.
No dad. Still became successful.
Successful.
Yeah. Still achieved his dream.
He's still going.
And he's still going.
He has no
So people say they can't make it, they ain't got no dad.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
I can witness for that one.
Yeah, single mom. Right. Yeah.
I can witness
that's it. Yeah.
I hate when people use that excuse.
Yeah.
Man.
Single mom, I can't make it.
Man, I felt like my mom was single. You know, she was married during the time I was growing up. But I felt like she was single.
Right.
You know,
So
I just
every bird.
Yeah, I call a spade a spade. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah,
but she could.
I felt that.
She didn't, nor did you allow that to become a crutch.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And like in LeBron situation. Many others, you know.
Yeah, you can't allow it to be
They didn't allow it to be a crutch, you know what I'm saying?
You can't. You got to, again, put your goals first.
Right.
Put your goals first. What you want.
Right.
Okay, now this is what I want. Now I gotta be disciplined. So how can I be disciplined? Let's find out how can I reach this. How can I reach that?
Yeah.
First and foremost, for me, it was more trial and error than anything, because I didn't really have anybody. I wasn't a very just outspoken person, like to go and just meet people and network with people. You know, some people had it. and that works for them. I wasn't it. So a lot of stuff I would just say, I'm gonna do it and try it,
Excuse me.
and then see what happens.
Open the door.
I do it and try and see what's gonna happen. So everybody don't have that. You know, my way of doing like was trial and error, and we see how it worked.
Right.
You know, some stuff I learned a lot along the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you learn what to do, what not to do. You know, but it hurt me in a sense too. You know, it had a gift and a curse because it made me put limits on myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it made me
How so?
because certain risks I wasn't willing to take. When certain risks, you know, you want to kind of keep it in that safe zone. You know, I always want to try and keep it in that safe zone. Like, you know, I've always had to aspire to be, you know, some type of business guy, handle
Right.
business, own a business. I've always had that in my mind.
That's
But,
right. Right.
you know, you think about that entrepreneur thing, you gotta take some big risks sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know?
you're right.
So if I'm not willing to take some of those risks, I'm limiting myself.
Right, right.
You know, I limit myself. I'm only gonna go so far with this.
Yeah,
You know, because I don't know the end result.
yeah.
So I ain't gonna take that big of risk. But I kind of got an idea of what this gonna end up with, so I'm gonna take that risk.
Yeah.
So you limit yourself instead of just going all out. You know, say, hey, I'm just gonna, you know, you have some people that have those success stories like, hey, you know, I'm just gonna jump and see what happens.
Right.
You know, whatever happens, happens. Everybody don't have that in them.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, everybody don't have that.
I saw a post the other day. It said that billionaires risk millions to be billionaires. You know, millionaires risk thousands to be millionaires.
Mm-hmm.
But poor people don't want to risk nothing to get out of poverty. That's true. You know what I'm saying?
It is, man.
You know, whether you poor financially or poor mentally,
Yeah.
you know, your mindset, you have to risk something. You have to take some type of risk. You have to invest something, whether you invest money, whether you invest in your, you call it your mental capacity, you know what I'm saying, your intellectual property,
Mm-hmm.
reading, audiobooks, podcasts. You have to be able to risk something to get to the next level and to achieve the dream that you have. And also, you have to have, we talked about discipline and sacrifice, but you said earlier, you have to have something that motivates you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
you
know,
got to have something that motivates you. Like you gotta,
to take that risk.
yeah, you gotta want to be. You gotta want what you want really bad. You know, you gotta want it. Whether if it's an environment, a situation, or you gotta want to be out of it.
Right.
You know, you go to a relationship. You know, whether it's a relationship you don't want to be in no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you got to do what it takes to move away from there. You got to step out. You got to go. You got to seek the help you need.
Right.
You know, you got to. Don't worry about what you're gonna leave behind.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know, because anything you in, you move away from it. We all lose something that we'll never get back, and that's time.
Yeah, that's good.
You know.
Yeah.
We'll never get that time back.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And I think a lot of people get caught in relationships like that. Like they feel like they have invested so much into it that they might well just ride it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. But I don't agree with it. I just say, you know, my saying, I always say, you know, I told to a good friend of mine, I told him, man, you know, don't trade your happiness for somebody else's happiness.
Mm.
You know, don't always try to make them happy and you miserable in the process of trying to make them happy.
That's true. That's true.
You know, I don't think, you know, that's not healthy for one.
Right.
You know, and the relationship not gonna be healthy.
Yeah.
Because it's not genuine. Like
Yeah.
you trying to make them smile and make them feel good, but you're miserable in the process.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting what you need. Not what you want, but you're not getting what you need out of the deal. So, you know.
That's good. I was talking to somebody earlier today about that. I said there's times in your life where you have to be selfish.
Yeah, you got to be.
You gotta be selfish.
Oh man, I go back to basketball, man. Every
Yeah.
time Kobe had to be selfish though.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the knock what people get on LeBron about because
Yeah.
it's times we figure he should have been selfish and he wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's times when you got to be selfish.
You gotta be selfish.
You know what I'm saying? For
yeah.
the ultimate goal,
Yeah.
which is if it's yours personally,
Yeah.
is the ultimate goal for the team or
Yeah,
whatever. It's times you got to be
You
selfish.
gotta be selfish. Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta
man.
be. Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta be.
yeah, you got
Yes,
to be.
yeah, and that's what, like I said, go back to the sacrifice and discipline. And it may be a situation to where you got to sacrifice a season of going without, you know, leaving a bad situation,
Yeah,
whether it's a job,
for a
you
better.
know, city, whatever, for a better situation
Yeah.
eventually you can get to.
Man,
You know, you
Yeah.
might have to go through, like we're talking about church, the wilderness season,
man.
you know, to get to that promised land.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah,
You know, I can relate that to basketball.
yeah,
You give up a good shot for a better shot.
that's it, yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
I got a guy standing under the basket.
Yeah.
I got a 3-point. I'm on the 3-point line.
Yeah.
I got a defender running at me. But what if I just pass it down to him
Yeah,
and he get the for sure 2 points? Well,
Right.
I may hit this three.
amazing three, yeah, that's right.
But he gonna get it for sure too because he
Right,
open.
right, right.
So why not make that pass?
Right, right.
Same thing.
That's it, that's it.
Same
Sacrifice,
thing.
yeah.
Just make a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Man. It's the same thing. You
Yeah.
know, you gotta give up something to get something.
Get something, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, you got to give up something. You know, and it was for the ultimate goal
Right.
for the team.
That's the individual
It
goal.
was individual goal.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't get the points, but I got the assist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I helped
yeah,
assist.
yeah.
I
yeah,
helped. I
yeah.
helped the team.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Well, that's good though, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that go back to mindset.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because a lot of people don't think like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're taught, you know, they're taught to sacrifice to the point of where it's detrimental.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rather than beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so you gotta be able to know the difference. And as you go through that discipline, like we said, like a process of being disciplined,
Mhm.
then you understand, like you said, what's the difference? I said like this: what's the difference between a risk and a calculated risk?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
I'm not just taking a risk. I'm taking a risk, but I've calculated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What could and what couldn't happen.
Yeah.
And I've determined this risk, the reward is better than me not doing anything.
Yeah. I was just thinking about something like that. Yeah, I didn't think of calculate the risk, but I was thinking about, you know, we saying you have to be selfish sometimes.
Right.
But, you know, you don't want your selfishness to hurt, hinder, or affect someone else in this
Right.
relationship. You know, you don't want it to come as a cost
Right. That's
to
good.
someone. You don't want it to be a cost to someone.
Right,
You know, you don't want it to hurt someone or prevent someone from, you know, reaching their goal or whatever the case may be. You don't want that selfishness to be there. You don't want that type of effect off the selfishness. You know, the type of selfishness we talking about is pretty much is like you said, calculated risk.
Right.
You know, think about it.
Yeah.
If your leading scorer taking the shot
Yeah.
and your calculated, his percentage of making that shot is higher than someone else.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
why don't we live with the higher percentage?
100%, yeah.
That's the numbers.
Yeah,
Go back to the numbers.
Right.
40% of the chance he make that,
Yeah.
but it's a 20% chance you might make that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that 40.
You know, 40 every time, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that calculated risk you talk about, that's what we mean.
Yeah.
You know, it's a risk, it's a calculated risk.
Right.
You know, taking the risk mean, hey man, you just doing stuff. You just trying stuff.
Right,
Because a calculated risk, I thought that thing out,
Yeah.
and it's got different, and you've thought of different outcomes.
Exactly.
And whichever one had the better outcome or more likely to happen, you're gonna take that route.
You can take that every time.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a saying at the end of Endgame, Marvel, Endgame, and
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange talking to Iron Man,
Mm-hmm.
and he was and he said, I've calculated all the risks, and he was like, it was some crazy number, and he said, like, over millions of risks, and he was like, this is the only way. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way we have to be sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, this is going to give us the best chance of success and succeed. Right? And so then they come back, like I said, to the selfishness. You made a good point. It's okay to be selfish as long as it's not hurting anybody else.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You don't want to hurt no one else.
Right.
Because you're being selfish, you know, and parenting. Go back to when I was talking about selfish parents.
Right.
You want to do what you want to do, and it's hurting your child. It's hurting their future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, instead of you putting them first, putting their future first.
Right.
You know, making the sacrifices for them as opposed to making sacrifices for you, because you missed out on this in life. You know, whether you had a child early or whatever the case may be, you didn't really get to kick it in your 20s.
Yeah.
So now you got a kid and you get in your 30s, you want to figure out, try to do what you missed out on. You can't go back to that.
Nah, you can't.
You know, or if you were kicking it, and you enjoyed it, and you want to get back to that, nah, you got to sacrifice and raise that child to be better than you, to have a better life than you. You know, you got to want that. You know, you have to have that selflessness with the child. You can't be selfish, because you know, I want to go kick it, but my child need this or this. You know, I could be at home making sure they do some homework. You know what I'm saying? Instead of out doing what I want to do, whatever you want to do. That's true. You know, the case may be. And I think, you know, I just think a lot of parents, you know, we like to say, you know, the common thing is I always said, like now, there's a lot of bad kids. Yeah. Bad kids, in my opinion, bad kids come from terrible parents. Yeah. That's how I feel about it. You know, the terrible parents. You know,
bad kids just ain't popping up like gremlins.
Nah, you just ain't born and you just bad, good. You know, like you just in the hospital putting tags on the babies while they in the little
blue and pink heads.
Okay,
you an angel.
You B for bad and G for good. You know, and that's how they gonna turn out. Nah, you go back to what I was talking about, what type of household. The rules that you set in your house.
The standard,
you got to set that standard. The rules you got in the house, and then, like I said, you got laws outside the house. Right. So if I set these rules, they going to be able to abide by the laws when they get in the world. But if I don't set no rules, they going to break all kind of laws out there. And that's why we have a lot of them breaking laws, because ain't no rules in the house. Got to have some rules in the house. Because they got to learn, they got to understand and respect something. You gotta understand and respect something, man. You know.
And you got one thing you gotta do. You gotta institute rules as early as possible.
Yes.
You gotta institute rules, and then number two, you can't bend the rules, cause in the real world, the rules ain't bending.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying? When they said 3 to 5, and you getting 11.29, and you got 35 years. Or you got to pay this fine, or you let this $50 late fee. Those rules are there.
Yeah, to that.
Yeah. And you, but if you don't set them in the house, and if you don't stick to them, like even if let's say you have a kid that breaks the rule, well, they got to be consequences.
Got to be consequences.
Yeah, you got to get discipline, punishment.
That's the problem.
You might have to get them. You might have to put them out.
That's the problem we have in the school district. Just I'm not in the school district anymore, but I think that's the problem that we have. It's not any consequences for their actions. You know, it's not their fault they're not getting those rules at home. But if they're coming into our school buildings, I think we need to hold them to those rules so they can understand. And it's all going to also, regardless of what the parents think, also the parents gonna understand. It's gonna help them grow up, in my opinion, because they're gonna let them know that if you want your kid to go to school and be here, then you gotta make sure that they abide by these rules too. You know, and I think that's the downfall and a lot of that you know, they let some sweep so much under the rug. in my opinion, I think they give parents too much power, you know, in the school district. I think they give them too much power over the district instead of teaching them how to have power over their house.
Yeah.
You fuss and complain, but there are options. Take your kid to another school.
Yeah.
You can take them to, you can move into another district. You can find another school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You complain about this, okay.
Right.
Make the sacrifice, send them to a private school.
Right.
Whatever the case, you homeschool.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, you got options.
Right.
But in this, this how this gonna go over here. And I think that they need to set those standards, you know, because I did go back to again. It's not the kid fault. It's the adult fault.
Totally the kid fault. The kid does have some responsibility.
Yeah. They have some responsibility, you know. But if we don't hold them to that, just think about if you got a kid. Let's say, for instance, you know, a kid. I heard this story. Kid shot and killed someone.
Yeah.
Young kid. But early in that kid's life, that kid had got caught bringing a gun to school.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't get any consequences for that.
Yeah.
Because the school didn't want to.
PR disaster.
They didn't want to be on the news. And
right.
They didn't want, so they kind of swept it under the rug and they say, oh, it was a BB gun, it wasn't a real gun.
Right.
But don't you think if he had some, even if it was a BB gun, don't you think if he had some consequences for that, he might have not had picked up the other gun.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he might have not thought about it a second time. Like, man, you know, it might click in him. Like, then that might have been a chance to show him having this is trouble, or it can cause trouble.
Right.
You know, because you know a gun don't do nothing if you leave it laying right here. But when somebody pick it up,
somebody has a choice.
Yeah.
To either protect or to hurt somebody.
Yeah. So I think that you know. It just what offense is if he would have had a consequence behind it? He didn't have a consequence.
Right.
So therefore it led to something later on that hurt him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying there. Like you got to have consequences, then discipline. You got to have discipline. No matter what aspect you looking at in life. You like you said, you can look at relationships, you can look at finances. You can look at sports. You can look at anything.
Right.
It go back to that.
Right.
It's gonna go back to that discipline.
Yeah.
You got to have discipline all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And so not only do you have to have like disciplined environment, you got to have self-discipline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, got to have self-discipline. You as a kid, adult, you have to discipline yourself and not be able and not make those bad decisions as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
you gotta be able to make good choices. I was in a situation where I had to make choices too. Like I could have went certain routes with certain. I'd be like, nah, man, I'm straight. Y'all go ahead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was my choice at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I was with my peers, my friends. We all was in the same age range.
Yeah.
And I was old enough, mature enough to make that choice. To say, nah, I'm straight.
Right.
You go ahead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you could tell the difference in a lot of cases, you know. But when you worried about what's better, what acceptance, right?
Right.
And what's better for you, that's a time to be selfish.
That's true.
That's a time to be selfish.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, especially if you know it's some nonsense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, we all ain't gonna make the right choice all the time.
Right.
But again, if you try to do the right thing, good things gonna happen.
Good things happen.
You gotta try to do the right thing. You know, that's my. I love to preach that to the kids, man. Just try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, try.
The numbers in your favor.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all this. So look, try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Numbers are in your favor.
It's in your favor if you try to do the right thing, for sure.
For sure. Numbers in your favor.
Man, without a doubt, man.
So stay disciplined. Don't give up on your dreams.
Never.
Right.
Yeah.
And remember that it's okay at times to be selfish, as long as it's not hurting anybody else.
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing wrong. Those are good things that can help a lot of people. That's a good thing. And whether you're a kid or an adult, it don't matter.
Right.
Those are good beneficial things, and I've experienced all of them. You know, trying to make a calculated risk. We either be selfish, we not be selfish.
Yeah.
You know, it always had nothing to do with sports.
Yeah.
You know, it was in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being selfish or not being selfish. You know, we make sacrifices. You know, I actually had a personal goal. I actually was thinking I was gonna get into this coaching thing and take it from one level to the next level,
right.
be on the collegiate level.
Yeah.
But when my daughter decided to play basketball, I said, I'm gonna be there for her, be a support. So I put myself on the back burner.
Yeah.
For the betterment of her.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I talk about, the selflessness. You know, sometimes. But some people make those sacrifices, and it's for the betterment of their family too. Because when you get to that collegiate level, the financial side can be good, but you have to give up that time away from your family. You know, time away from you might miss holidays because you traveling and going. You know, the family may can come with you, but you make the sacrifices. But my thing was I'm gonna make this sacrifice for my child.
Yeah.
You know, because she wanted me there to see her play and to help her. You know, we had this thing. You know, I was like, I was telling her we had this thing like she said she came to me and said, hey, I want to play basketball. All right, okay. Do you want to just play basketball or do you want to be a basketball player? It's a difference. It's a difference.
Right.
To be a basketball player takes that discipline, sacrifices.
Right.
To take all that.
Yeah.
But to play basketball, hey, anybody can do it.
Right.
True. It ain't for everybody.
No.
You know, it ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
If everybody can do it,
everybody would do it.
If it was easy, I tell the players, hey, if it was easy,
everybody would do it.
we trying to get in shape, we conditioning.
Yeah.
If everybody can run these, everybody be in here. We wouldn't cut nobody.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to have a trial for a team if everybody can do it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so there's a difference. A basketball player and playing basketball. She said, I want to be a basketball player. So I explained to her what comes with that.
Yeah.
You know, it comes with dedication. You got to put in. When you don't feel like doing it, you got to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you got to want to do it. And that's us in life when we don't feel like. In relationships, sometimes you got to do stuff you don't feel like doing. You got to be willing to do it. You know, guys, speaking to my fellas, hey, we gotta do a lot of stuff we don't feel like doing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You know, and it's just my opinion, but I just think we have to build ourselves to be the person that catch the slack. I just think for the male aspect of a relationship, I think we have to build ourselves to catch the slack. You know, and carry that burden. You know, carry whatever slack. You know, I just feel like that's what we have to do. You know, and sometimes we get to where, man, who gonna catch the slack for us? Hey, I know we get in our mind, but we got to be willing to catch the slack. And then
you get rewarded down the line.
I
think sacrifice is often silent.
Yeah.
Sacrifice is often silent.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And then that silent sacrifice, it ends up bringing you to a point where you can have that success on and be celebrated.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's career-wise, family,
we worked it all in the end.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case, losing weight, going back to school, whatever it is. I think at the end, that's when you reap that reward and say, okay, it was all worth it.
Whatever the case may be. So you gotta have discipline to reach that ultimate goal. Whatever ultimate goal you got for yourself. You gotta have discipline first. You get that discipline, you can reach it.
And reach any dream.
I'm doing it now. I had goals I'm reaching some of them.
Now.
I'm reaching them. And I'm still going.
That's it. No limit soldier. That's a piece of it. Yeah, that's it.
He said,
Peace out, man. Look, tune in.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all subscribe. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout.
yeah.
.com. You can download that, subscribe, shout out, share this with a friend, family member. Yeah. So look,
So,
help us build this community. Appreciate y'all. Until next time. Peace out. So Memphis.
Memphis.